What is going on, everybody? Welcome. I hope you guys have had a great week. So much has happened, and yet nothing has happened this week. That's what this week has been. It's incredible. So we're going to wait just a second. I know YouTube has had some issues. I didn't get notifications from some people today. What's strange is YouTube just kind of picks and chooses when it wants to send out notifications. But I want to say thank you guys. Yeah, this shirt, it is. I found it. It's I don't know. It was hiding, and I found it. Flamingo Friday. Okay. Please come to Arkansas Lane. Please, please, please. I'm tagging him in these tweets. I seriously doubt that he even accidentally winds up in here, but how crazy would that be? So, what's this in my hand, you ask? What is this? What are you doing, Ty? Is that a beverage? Why, it most certainly is. And it is of the alcoholic type, brand, whatever. Black Apple, okay? If you don't know who these guys are, they do everything in Springdale, okay? Cider made the hard way. Hold on, let me do that again. Let me try that again. They're not sponsoring this. I just told them I would do this. We were talking on Facebook earlier today. Black Apple Spice Cider. Cider made the hard way. How you like that? Come on, make me your official spokesperson. Yeah, they are located on Emma. I've got their address too. 6.9% alcohol in this bad boy. 12 fluid ounces. Where is the actual address? Okay. Produced and bottled by Black Apple Crossing, 321 East Emma, right down the road from my house. I shouldn't give out too much information. Yeah, I could almost throw a rock at the airport. You guys, the people who are doing their pseudo-journalism, according to some people in the media around here, down at the airport. I could have gone down there. I chose not to. But yeah, 321 East Emma Avenue, Springdale, Arkansas, 72764. They are. It's good stuff. I'm not lying to you. I have been inside their restaurant there, or their bar, whatever you want to call it, down on Emma. Yeah, established 2014. That's right. I was sitting here trying to think. When were they? But it's a pretty neat little place. And I got a 4-pack at Walmart. What was it? Like $8 or something, but it's worth it. It's good cider beer. Howdy, Ty. Kelly Marie, girl, how you doing? Are you hanging in there throughout this week? Mike Irwin's report on Pig Trail has called me down. So if there's something you guys don't know, if there's something that you do know that I don't, please share, because I have not checked Twitter in like the last hour. And you know how this thing goes. Something changes every 25 seconds. Oh, Tony, you're my dude. How about Tony? He is all up on it on Twitter. Thank you, sir. He got me on there twice. Mark Douglas, Kelly Marie, of course. I love it when you guys do. And I like it when you tweet at me, too, because I know that way I can give you some love. Give you some sweet, sweet love. Let's see. I think Ty's clock is off. What? Do I have a clock behind me? No, my clock isn't off. It's Friday, my dude. I'm sitting back chilling, drinking some Black Apple Spice Cider. Okay, so again, a lot of nothing is happening, yet at the same time, so much has happened with the rumors. Everybody's got their source. They're write it down. You know, the quote-unquote, jot it down, write it down, locked him up. He has signed. It's a done deal. That's my favorite. It's a done deal. That is my favorite. How does anybody know this? I'm going to tell you guys something. Some of you, a lot of you actually, are in our Discord. What's good, brother? What's going on, QTZ? How you doing? Almost 4:20 here in San Diego. Lane train. A lot of you are in our Discord, and if you're not, I'll share that in chat here in just a second. A lot of you there's some good stuff going on there. We're trying our best. We were placking. Let me try that again. We were making an attempt to track some planes this week, and that went over really well in our Discord. Obviously, a lot of it was taken off of Twitter. But a lot of you, too, I'm getting a lot of friends invites on Facebook, which is cool. I don't mind. You know, I've been told it's probably about time that I make a separate Facebook page that's a little bit more private and intimate. But whatever. But I'm getting a lot of you that are DMing me there, and a lot of people are sending me DMs on tweets telling me about your inside source. And it's unbelievable how many of you are conflicting with your inside sources. I think everybody has a guy, and that's good. I think everyone's got a guy that you've relied on before. I do have people that I rely on for recruiting information. When it comes to what's going on with Hunter Yurachek, I have no idea. And I really don't know. My theory behind this coaching search and all things with Hunter Yurachek is to filter out about 97.9% of what you hear on Twitter. Even in the – look, this morning, Clay Henry on the Morning Rush along with Tommy Kraft both said that they had sources tell them that Kiffin – well, I think one of them – I didn't actually hear it, but everyone talked about it on Twitter today. It was hilarious. But they had both cited that they were told Kiffin was never even interviewed. And then 5 minutes later, supposedly was told by a source, that, oh wait, no, they did, and it's a lockdown, it's a done deal. And this supposedly is a guy that told him about Hunter Yurachek, and when Hunter Yurachek was hired, I think this was his source before Hunter was hired, and I believe someone had later stated that, I don't know how anybody knows this, but this was also the same source that told him about Morris and Musselman. So this is the thing. You have to pull it apart like an onion, or I don't know. You've got to find a way to see through the fog, and nobody can. There's so much smoke. I'm not saying it's not Lane. Like I said in the Pig Trail podcast, I said on the Hog Talk podcast, and I probably even said it Monday. I can't remember. That's the problem when you do like 14 shows or record. I don't know how many hundreds of minutes throughout a week of recording I do just for Razorback stuff. But I've said from the beginning, I feel like there's just too much smoke. It's got to be Kiffin. For this, the last time I saw this kind of smoke, it was Lane Kiffin. Not Lane Kiffin. I'm sorry. Musselman. Sorry. I've got 14 things going on in my head at the moment, including my kids right outside the door screaming. I think my wife just walked in the door, and they just went crazy. The last time I had seen this kind of smoke, it was when Chad Morris was hired, and it was when Musselman was hired. And that's the thing. You have to somehow – you get that feeling in your gut, and it's like this is – like that's got to be it. But then you ignore that sense in your gut, that feeling. You ignore it, and then it turns out later on you should have trusted your gut. That's like when I said Arkansas – going into fall camp or coming out of fall camp, I was trying to get you guys the content and try to make up my mind whether or not I had Arkansas going bowling. My God, I was wrong either way you look at it. But I'd said all offseason going into fall camp, I said Arkansas is they're not going to make a bowl game. They're going to be lucky to win 4 or 5 games. And then for whatever reason, coming out of that final week, coming out of that, I don't know if it was just, I always try to take the fan goggles off. And I thought, you know what, with this kind of talent they have coming in, with the quarterback, what we perceive to be an upgraded quarterback, with Rakeem Boyd coming back, he's a 1,000-yard caliber rusher, that they have the talent to win 6 games. They got 4 winnable non-con games. Boy, were we all wrong. Everyone was wrong on that. Everybody. I don't care who you are. Let's see. Last week I was shouting out on the beach, and now I'm in God's waiting room, Bella Vista. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's Bella Vista's. I'm sure I'll get an email for this, but that's old people country. But it's beautiful up there. Getting smoky in this hot box. Man, that is like the second marijuana reference in this chat already. What are you guys doing out there, huh? Jay Massey, well, we'll know this weekend. I think so. I think we will. Apparently, according to everyone in Oxford, Kiffin is signed and will be delivered Sunday at Ole Miss. You know what? So Otis Kirk has been saying that. Multiple media members here have been saying that. Then they kind of backed off. I don't know what happened, but overnight, going into Thursday, it was like, okay, any minute now he's going to sign with Arkansas. And then for whatever reason, and I'll tell you what I think it was. It's because Ole Miss supposedly went and interviewed him on Thursday night. For whatever reason, we wake up Friday morning and it's just over with. It's done. They're out, and now it's Ole Miss. It could happen. I don't know. But I think people get scared when there's an interview that happens or that we believe that takes place during this search. We've seen this before. we wig out and we just expect the worst because we're Arkansas. What does Pinto say on Twitter? God, I'm fumbling my words today like crazy. Pinto says, was Arkansas going to Arkansas or Hog's going to Hog? And that could be the case. I've caught heat for this. I don't care. I don't really give a damn. But Arkansas is not the most desirable job right now in the world. Okay? You've won 4 games in 2 years with all the amenities that you have at the University of Arkansas, with even an upgrade in talent on the roster. You still couldn't manage. Lane Kiffin or a coaching prospect is going to view this different than a fan. They're going to say, well, this coach couldn't get it done with an upgrade on the talent roster. With an upgraded roster, he still couldn't get it done. He won 2 games and then he was fired. That's not the most attractive thing to a coaching prospect. So Oxford, who has been relevant, as you know, it's been a little while, but of course we know how they were relevant. They were cheating, but I'm sure that has an effect on him. And here's my thing too about that. This is what's interesting. You know, when he took over at USC, what had just happened? What happened during all that? You remember 2010? What happened to USC? 2011? They were hit with a multi-year bowl ban, and they opened up. The NCAA said that anybody that transfers out of USC gets immediate eligibility. You don't think that had an effect on Kiffin? You don't think he was there during all that? Or didn't see that attrition over time? What happened with these guys transferring out? And then on top of that, I think they were hit with I don't remember the scholarship reduction. I don't remember what that was. Do you think he wants to go through that again with what happened to Ole Miss? Ole Miss has had some guys transfer out. They've had some issues ever since Freeze. They've had guys leave, and they've lost out on some recruits. And I think they were hit. I can't remember if they were hit with the scholarship deduction or not. But that's my thinking behind that. Do you want to go somewhere where the NCAA just got done with that program? And honestly, Ole Miss should have been hit with something harder, if you want my honest opinion. I mean, it was so blatant they're cheating. But it is what it is. Oklahoma State, I believe, just got caught with their pants down. LSU gets caught with their pants down, their basketball program, and nothing's happening. They still got the guy that cheated. He's still their head coach. Win at all costs. That's the name of the game. But I don't know that he wants to walk into a situation where the NCAA is probably still keeping an eye on them, I imagine. And what's next for Ole Miss? Because if you get caught again, what does the NCAA do? Is that death penalty? I don't know. Someone will have to know. Whoever knows the rules better than I do, I don't know, inform us. Ty, I hope you keep doing this. I love your videos. Thank you, Chance. I've been doing this for a while, although for the longest time, for the first 2.5 years, it was all pre-recorded. I've been doing live more and more. Thank you, though, Chance. I appreciate the love. Any thoughts on Harsin from Boise? Yeah, that's an interesting one. That actually, I didn't even hear that name. I knew who he was, but I didn't even know he was a realistic candidate. I would take him. Absolutely. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I don't know how you compare him to Kiffin. It's a different kind of hire. I like that hire. If you go with I'm cool with that. That guy, and then someone else had mentioned Gundy at Oklahoma State. I don't see that happening. Been hearing Kiffin to Oxford. Yeah, and that's what everyone's been saying ever since he supposedly interviewed last night, which I think he did. I think that he absolutely did interview. You guys, you can't even see my Christmas tree. It's not even in. Can you see my tree? Can you see? Oh, there it is. It's directly behind me. Look at that. You can't. It's yeah. Wait, should I just get over here? I'll just take take in the tree. It's got Yoda and a Razorback football on the top of it. Oh crap. Golly, this is what happens when you got a chair on carpet. We haven't heard anything from Chad Morris. No, we haven't. Although Brett Bielema, did you see he congratulated the graduating seniors? I thought that was classy. I've heard Butch Jones. Dear God. Him and Butch Davis, those names coming up. And I'm glad Gus is out of the picture. Thank you, God above. Those names are out of the picture. But, or his name. Let me take another swig of this fine Black Apple Spice cider. That is really good. I'm not gonna lie. That's really good. You gotta listen. It's apple cider, so you gotta be a fan of apple cider. If not, you're in for a shock. But it's still really good. No preservatives added. It's It's really good stuff. And their art on their can, I think that's something else. Look at that art. Isn't that cool? I think they're such a neat little, I think they're a neat, I shouldn't say little, they're a neat company over there. They're right in the backyard. There's a couple of brewing companies around here getting some notoriety. I loved it. Love it. Kiffin, Baby Yoda. Yeah, it's the old Yoda. It's not Baby Yoda. One day, chug it. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I want to enjoy it. I like to enjoy my beverage. I know it's a long shot, but how do you think Jason Garrett would fare here? That's from here to Mars kind of long shot. I don't know how. I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I'm always skeptical of those guys that don't make it in the NFL. Although I think Harbaugh, all things considered, at Michigan. I know Michigan, they're not happy with him, but Harbaugh's done pretty well at Michigan. Obviously, Nick Saban's done really well. Mr. T-Dub, it's done. Lane to Ole Miss is what I've heard from my Ole Miss guy. Says that Ole Miss AD is still there and will be flying back with Kiffin to announce Saturday evening or Sunday 12 p.m. Look, that could happen. I think it's important to note, though, everybody's source is very well connected. Everyone that's been hitting me up, either on Facebook, again, Twitter, the DMs are ridiculous. People are just like, here's my source. This is my guy. He's a booster for FAU, and it's a done deal. He's going to Arkansas. Let's try this again. I've heard Butch Jones a lot lately. I'm not liking where this is going. I want Mel Tucker from Colorado. Celtics, come on, man. Although what he did with that quarterback over there is pretty impressive. Oh no, and then the message got retracted. I'm sorry, dude. I was in the middle of reading that, and that wasn't me. Swear to God. Hope Kiffin goes to Ole Miss. Look, if it just depends on the trade-off. Are you going to be saying that if you've got to settle with Drinkwitz? Are you going to be saying that if you got to settle for a no-name, non-Power 5 coach? Would you rather take one of them over Lane? That's the question. So if it's not Kiffin, it's a nobody. It could be, unless Hunter Yurachek has someone else up his sleeve. Not Monty Kiffin. That's his dad, who was a defensive coordinator here under Lou Holtz. Is that right? I believe it when I see it. Says Alex, that's the attitude you got to have. You got to detach yourself emotionally. Ty, Luka, let's see, and the Dallas Mavericks. Enough said. Oh, here we go with that. Let's see, Chance Russell. What does the Cowboys and the Hogs have in common? This is a question for you, Ty. Well, I can't say Dallas has been irrelevant. Arkansas has been irrelevant. I don't know. Fill me in, Chance. I don't know. YouTube's screwed. I've heard Butch Jones a lot lately. Oh, Mel Tucker. You don't know what Hunter Yurachek is going to do with all these connections, though. Yeah, I'm not. I'm saying I don't know what Hunter Yurachek's going to do, period. That's what I'm saying. I have no idea. Gabriel Bass, who you think, Ty? I don't know. I really don't know. This, like I said earlier, there's so much smoke around Kiffin's name, and I'm telling you, I've seen some very interesting screenshots that have been sent to me the last 30 minutes. If I were to take them as fact, they're telling me that it's a done deal. That I love that term. I'm saying it, but he's a Razorback. But I don't know. I'm skeptical of, like I said, 97.9% of what I see. Eric Musselman's Diet Pepsi. Oh, look who it is. He even went and made himself a YouTube named. Hey, boys, what's going on? I'm not drinking a Diet Pepsi tonight. I'm going to do this again. Again, they're not sponsoring me, but I'm drinking a black apple spice cider, and it's very tasty. QTZ for coach. Ty for offensive coordinator, associate head coach. You guys fill in the rest. Ooh. All right. You want me as your coordinator? I'm really good on Madden, not going to lie. I've been rolling with the Houston Texans. Dude, I have transformed. I had to trade for Henry though. I wanted Henry so bad in that offense. Oh my gosh, I'm killing it. I'm slaying it. And then I downloaded one of those updated. You could download updated draft picks and what have you. And I picked up Swift as the number 10 pick from Georgia. I'm balling out. The buzz was saying we should go for Arkansas State's coach. I strongly disagree. Yeah, and that goes back to what do you want and what would make you happy? And the feel right now out there is that it's like Lane Kiffin or bust. It is Lane Kiffin or bust. The hair is driving me crazy again. This is why I wore a beanie for the first year and a half that I did YouTube. I want some of that black apple cider. Dude, it is so delicious once it hits your lips. Okay. It's me. I'm the new head coach. Taya, offensive line coach. Greg Curl, defensive coordinator. And Bear Loney, OC. It's a done deal. Hey, it's a done deal, Tim. Let's do it. No way Lane goes to Ole Miss. It is so hard for me to see Ole Miss beating Arkansas out for a coach that they both want. I can't wrap my mind around that. I've said that before. I've said it in this stream, and I've said it in podcasts and other live streams. Arkansas right now, the perception is reality in college football. We live in and it's always been this way in sports, period. But what have you done for me lately? Arkansas's done jack shit. Earmuffs, kiddos. They haven't done anything. They're a dumpster fire program right now. I get that in terms of wins, in terms of product on the field and wins and losses. Everything else behind the scene, they compete with everybody outside of recruiting. It is so hard for me to see Kiffin choosing to go to Oxford, given, like I said, the NCAA trouble that they were in not that long ago. The fact that if they can't cheat, they can't win. I mean, they had arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks, with Eli Manning. And they were good. Cutler was at Vanderbilt. God, that's crazy. Vanderbilt and Ole Miss had two really, really great quarterbacks in the modern age of football. Obviously, we know the Manning connection to Ole Miss, but Cutler at Vanderbilt. But anyways, yeah, I just can't see it. Everything I've ever been told about Oxford is that the stadium is nice, the fans are great. The tailgating is amazing, okay, which that might be appealing to Lane. I don't know. How attractive are the women? I don't know. Do they have all their teeth? Oh, no, we're talking about Mississippi, not Missouri. They don't have meth mouth down in Mississippi. They've just had too many cavities. They had their teeth pulled. I guess it depends on what is attractive to Lane. And I can't wrap my head around Ole Miss being a more attractive job. I don't care that Arkansas's been terrible on the field. I think the right guy can get this thing turned around. I don't know how long it'll take, and maybe that's part of it. Maybe that really is the deciding factor. Because recruiting-wise, they're not ahead. The only time they've been ahead of Arkansas, like on a grand scale, on a consistent basis, is when they were doing what? Cheating with a capital C. I don't know if that's what's the most appealing. I'm getting hit up with. My phone is blowing up right now. Did something happen? My phone is exploding. Where was I? If that's what he finds to be more attractive, that Ole Miss has had maybe more NFL draft picks. They've definitely had more first-round draft picks, bought and paid for. I'm going to mention that every time we talk about Ole Miss and they're cheating. God. But if that's what he finds more attractive, then yeah, Ole Miss has got the edge right now. Didn't always be that way, but it hasn't always been that way, but it has certainly been the case lately. Makes me sick to my stomach to think that that Kiffin would choose Ole Miss over us. I love how YouTube didn't like that you said the word piss and they took your comment out. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know. It's crazy. This is how far I think Arkansas football sunk, though. On the flip side, Arkansas basketball is doing really well. They're 8-0. I hope they get a win tomorrow. But it's just crazy how one sport is doing so much more significantly better than Arkansas is, or than the football program is. And the football program has dug itself into a hole that it is struggling to get out of. Let's see. They've got a beach in Mississippi, Gulfport. We have loads more money than I don't know about that, Jackson. They are. If you look at Forbes, they have in September they released their top 25 most valuable programs. They're just behind Arkansas. I think Arkansas was like 17th. Ole Miss was at like 24th or 25th in total net revenue over 3 years. They're not that far behind Arkansas in terms of money. Now, you're going to get exclusivity in Arkansas, right? You're the only program in the state of Arkansas. And we may be wasting our time talking about Lane. Hell, it could be a left field hire. They definitely have meth mouths in Mississippi. I like it. Let's see. They chase those sky raisins in Mississippi. What is that? Is that like bird crap? No, because bird crap is white. What are you talking about, David? You've got me on that one. A non-exciting hire will not fix the empty stands problem right away. We don't have the luxury of 2 to 3 years to build fan excitement. Mark, that's a really good point. They can always fudge the numbers on how many people that show up. Don't get me wrong; it's not a good look when you've got an empty stadium. I agree 110%. What matters are ticket sales. Ticket sales. That makes up the second most valuable income to any program behind TV contracts. And obviously the SEC network nets quite a bit of money there. And Arkansas gets a piece of that. That is number one. Ticket sales are number two. Both the Hogs and Cowboys know how to lose. Oh, that was it? Come on, Chance. I was expecting like a major just burn. That was weak. Come on. But I do agree, Mark. A non-exciting hire. Look, if you have to go settle for a mid-major guy, I don't know. Arkansas or Western Kentucky? Who you taking, Ty? Well, you didn't listen to the latest episode of the Hog Talk podcast, did you? Did you? I'll get to that in a second. It's gonna be good. We'll get to that in just a second. Jacob has all your basketball answers. Dude, Jacob, he's got it all. He's got all the answers, period. Jacob is real, like stats. I swear I think he runs Hog Stats, that Twitter handle. He is just like bing, bang, boom when it comes to the stats. Waves are calling. All right, Tim, have a good one. Rupik Sui, Mississippi is still better than Alabama. Let's see. They're like me and Uncle Daddy. Oh, you guys. Although Fayetteville, you get into South Fayetteville, it gets a little sketchy. That's actually where, I think I've mentioned this before, but if you've ever heard of, so you look out Baum Stadium right field, there's a hill kind of up where those new apartments are. Beyond that, that's actually where my old neighborhood. I was raised in that neighborhood from the age of 3 until 18, till me and my dad left to go to Elkins for a little while. Do you think Pittman is a real possibility, Scott Bailey? I hope not. I shouldn't say that. I really shouldn't say that because I do think Pittman. Here's the attractive thing about Pittman. God, that's a weird statement. Never thought I'd say that. Here's the attractive part of him being a head coach. Connected, recruits well, can build a stellar offensive line, and can just bring in, I think he'd bring in and build a wonderful staff. That is the great thing about Pittman. But he has no head coaching experience. I think he was like a high school coach or something for a couple of years, way long time ago. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, but I'm pretty sure he was, and then he moved on and became like I think that's kind of where he started with his maybe it was JUCO or a lower division of college football, but he started out as like an offensive coordinator / offensive line coach, or I don't know. Go wiki his name, Sam Pittman wiki, and you'll find it all. But yeah, there's a positive there, and I think you could probably even argue the same thing about Barry Lunny Jr. People forget Barry Lunny, his only stop hasn't just been Arkansas high school football and then Arkansas. Obviously, he played here, but he was a quarterback coach. I think he was quarterback coach and maybe co-offensive coordinator at San Jose State in a similar position at Tulsa. Like, he's kind of been around a little bit. I think he's somewhat connected. And the question is, could he pull in Sam Pittman? I think there's a chance. And I don't know. Pittman, too, though, I mean, they could be playing for the playoffs. So I don't know that Pittman – I don't even know that you've entertained that idea for that reason. Jason Garrett. Guys, Jason Garrett is not going to wind up here. Is Houston Nutt still in the running? No. Now, I say that, if they swing and miss on every coaching candidate, I could absolutely see him coming in for an interim year. I could, and that's scary. No, I think they'd go with Lunny before they would Nut. I really do. If Lane comes here, who will he bring for the defensive coordinator? I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't dug that far yet. Ha 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 ha. Attractive thing about Pittman. I like his butt personally, but his personality seems aight. Oh, man. This is what I love about this show. It's what I love about doing this. Yeah, Bryan Harsin, we talked about him earlier, Jacob, we talked about him. I wouldn't mind that hire at all. Charlie Strong, no, pass. Hard pass. He just got fired again, right? Didn't he just get fired? Or did I dream that? Yeah, he got fired. Kiffin bought Petrino's motorcycle. This is John Baker. And Mr. Cobra. Hey, what's up, Cobra? How's it going? Tony Brown. Chad Morris was a high school coach, too. Well, yeah, he was, with more stops and was an OC at a very successful program. But, yeah, he definitely was. The Lane train is coming, says Ford. Lane Kiffin is bringing in Randy Shannon as defensive coordinator. I've heard that. I just have a hard time seeing. If you get one, then maybe the possibility of the other could happen. Is off the table. I don't know. I haven't heard. Occasional Gamer, I have not heard his name in the last 48 hours. Again, like I said earlier, if you swing and miss on Kiffin, maybe there is some truth to Kiffin being blocked. I know that this was being reported. I can't say that it's factual, but it was being reported that the Board of Trustees have played a role in Kiffin's someone on the board didn't like the Kiffin hire. That's what was rumored. If Charlie Strong can't win at Texas or South Florida, he can't do it in Arkansas. Yeah, that's a very good point. How important was it to get a coach this week with relation to the early signing period? Asa with another. Asa, you were the man. You always ask the greatest questions. So that's, yeah. Early signing period is right around the corner. December. Last year is the 20th through the 22nd. I think it's similar. It's somewhere around that time frame. You got like 3 or 4 days there. It is very important. You have to have your guy by Monday. I think if anything beyond that, you are burning precious time. It's got to happen, and it's got to happen this weekend. You got to make that hire this weekend. I cannot stress that enough. This is my problem with college football. They put these rules out. God knows why. God knows why they gave us early signing period. I really don't know. I thought it was to kind of comfort the players, give them the opportunity to sign, get that off their chest before they go into Christmas vacation, enjoy their holidays. Maybe that's why, but it is killing programs like Arkansas and other programs that are having to make coaching changes every couple of years. On average, probably 3 years, but it's a killer. Because those guys that were kind of waiting off to the side, I mean, they just had Garrett Hayes. Remember him? 4-star offensive tackle, heavily considered playing for Chad Morris. Heavily considered being a Razorback. He committed to TCU, I believe. There's still a chance. Garrett Hayes really liked it here. Really liked Fayetteville and felt a pretty good connection here. If you don't have a guy in, and then you got to consider dead period as well. I don't know when that is. Don't ask me. Now you're competing to try and get him back on board with a shorter amount of time. He's now been committed to TCU for 2-3 weeks? You're behind the ball. You're already behind as it is. And that's the thing about the Rutgers. They went after Greg Schiano. They stamped it and got him, and he was there. That's a match made in heaven. Schiano and the Rutgers deserve each other, and I don't know how he'll do now that they're no longer in the Big East. That's when he had all of his success with the Rutgers. Now he's got a little bit more difficult schedule. But that's a match made in heaven, and they made it work. Bing, bang, boom. They got their guy. And I knew that this wouldn't be the case for Arkansas because when you're going after somebody good, I think a quality coach, which I think Kiffin is a quality coach, they're probably going to be playing in a conference championship game. So, therefore, you're putting all your eggs in that Kiffin basket or whatever coach that's coaching in a championship game, all your eggs into that basket. And if you swing and miss, now what? Now what? Now what do you do? Now you're on to plan. I don't even know. Supposedly, Leach hasn't technically signed his extension. Do you take another shot at Leach? He was extended through 2024, I believe, at Washington State. Is it true there's some interest in Gundy? Like, what do you do? And this is why the early signing period, before you could kind of wait, you could get through maybe another week, and you didn't have to be so. I mean, don't get me wrong. You need to be at it quick anyways. I think that's the mindset of every AD trying to get their guy, because the market is so competitive to get a new head coach that you want to beat the other guys. And this is the other thing too. You had a 2.5 week head start. You had a 2-3 week head start. And if you whiff on Lane Kiffin, I'm not saying they're going to fire Hunter Yurachek, but if you go after another mid-major, he fails, and you're in the same situation a couple years down the road, I don't know that they'll fire him, but I think his seat will start to warm up. They fired Jeff Long, and he wasn't here half as long as Frank Broyles was as the AD. Of course, Broyles was, he was part of the Arkansas DNA. But listen, they're not messing around, and I don't know. You just and is it his fault, or is it the Board of Trustees' fault? Who's at fault here? Who do you blame at the end of the day? Do you put all the blame on Hunter? There's a lot of speculation that the Board of Trustees have been involved again. Let's see. We are going to go all special teams on this hire and do some embarrassing shit like hire Willie Fritz. Sorry, I have no control over these comments that get put in timeout by YouTube. I saw some others that were put, that probably deserved to be put in timeout. Good grief for that comment. Ty, did you see that Isaac McBride went to Vandy? I did not. I did not see that. I'm a hog, you're a hog, we're all hogs. Okay. Let's see. We are all going to, or no, I already read that, didn't I? Let's see. Go Panthers. Get Panthers coach Riviera. He has a college football background, doesn't he? Am I crazy to think that? I thought he had a college football background. Where was he before Carolina? I know he was in the NFL for a little. Smash the like button for the PTN. Yeah, I didn't do that, did I? I didn't do my typical rundown. I'll if you can't hear, my wife is fixing dinner, and it is so distracting. I wish I had like a studio, like a sound booth, so I could filter out, or so I didn't have to hear everything going on outside that thin door. So again, thank you guys for coming in. I do appreciate it. Remember to like the video. I'd really appreciate if you guys would hit the like button, share the content, tap the subscribe button if you haven't already. Feel free to check out the links provided down below. The Patreon, I haven't updated my November Patreon supporters yet. That'll be on the net. I'm trying to get that all done on Photoshop. I got to get that fixed. But I'll have that up for you hopefully next week. But a shout out to all my Patreon supporters and everybody who donated over the week. I think I got like one dono last week. That was really cool. I appreciate it. And I think we even added a Patreon member, I think. Again, I'll do all that research this weekend. It's been a crazy week with this coaching search. It's been nuts. Hey, Ty, how'd that roast turn out? It turned out really good. I soaked it in this new brand of KFC, my God. Oh, my God. What is that brand of barbecue sauce? Anyways, I soaked it in some delicious barbecue sauce. It was great. Really good. And you put some vegetable broth in there, carrots, potatoes, salt and pepper, a little dash of garlic. I put a little, I forgot everything I threw in there. It was delicious, though. It was really good, Sean. Thanks for asking, though. Appreciate it. Let's see. Chiswick, as a defensive coordinator, yes. Let's see. The head coach position is very important, but I hope we can get an even better DC because Chavis didn't cut it. Chavis was terrible. Chiswick won because of Cam Newton. He did, and that's why I say defense. Early signing period helps the big programs the most, says Mark. They lock down the majority of their class. They do. You're absolutely right. Then spend all their energy and focus recruiting the very few blue chip slots left to fill. You are completely right, Mark. That is the problem. That's the issue that you have with early signing period. College football, and I hate this cringy ass thing to say, but the rich get richer in college football. So you're already at a huge disadvantage. You got to get in there. Sweet Baby Ray sauce. That is good sauce, though. I like Sweet Baby Ray. I do. I'll resign as a Hog fan if if Nick comes here. Let's see. Sweet Baby Ray's. Yeah, everyone's saying I love Sweet Baby Ray's. That is actually the best to cook with. Sweet Baby Ray's is damn good. It really is. I heard Lane Kiffin hiring being announced Sunday at 1:30. 6 years, $36 million. I don't think so. No way. I don't see that. Norvell to Florida State. Yeah, Norvell probably will wind up going to Florida State. I don't know. There's a lot of conflicting reports that he's not all that interested. Mississippi, Ole Miss wanted Norvell pretty bad, and I guess that's their other fight if they whiff on Kiffin, I guess. Or maybe it's Norvell first and then Kiffin. I don't know. Ole Miss media reporting all kinds of crazy stuff, but so is Arkansas's. I'm thinking we have to go all in for Lane. You're going to have to offer him some money. Celtics for life. Oh, you were talking to Celtics for life. Let's see. Okay. All right. We're going to switch over really quick to Arkansas basketball really fast, and we're not done with this coaching search talk yet. I just wanted to focus on men's basketball for just a second. Someone had asked me about Western Kentucky. Okay. Tomorrow, 6:30, CBS. Right now, according to ESPN's Basketball Power Index, Western Kentucky is favored 56.5%. I think it ought to be 50-50 if you want my opinion, but I'm not in charge of their fancy algorithms or whatever it is. But they've got a guy, Bassey. That guy is the real deal. NBCSports.com has him as a possible top 10. They've got him projected as a top 10 pick in the NBA draft in 2020. The guy's good. They've got some other surrounding components. I was listening to Musselman break them down a little bit. Said they like to play a lot of the 1-3-1. And they got a little bit of size. From what I can tell, what research I was able to knock out today about their guards, they're not overly, they're not long-limbed, bigger guards. They're kind of your average size or smaller. Arkansas shouldn't get into too much trouble there. I don't know how their perimeter shooting is, but they are a really good shot blocking team. I think they're top 15 in the country, and obviously that's because of Bassey. This guy averages something like almost 10 rebounds a game. Hang on, I had it pulled up here. Where'd it go? I think he averages 10 rebounds and I thought he averaged a couple of 3 or 4 blocks a game. But yeah, he's a sophomore. He's 6'11", somewhere around there. 6'11", 240 pounds. Again, he averages about 16 points, 10 rebounds, and he shoots about 52% from the floor. He's a good player. And that whole team is built around him, but they also have some skill guys around him outside in the perimeter. I have Arkansas in this one losing. I don't feel good. I just don't feel good about this matchup. I picked them to lose to Georgia Tech, and I was wrong. I'm probably wrong here, and I hope I am, because I would love for Arkansas to start this thing out at 9-0. That'd be incredible. I was trying to dig up my I have a media guide around here somewhere. I was trying to dig up the last time that happened. I know the last time they went 8-0 was 98, I believe. That's been a while, hasn't it? 20-plus years. But, God, I was in ninth grade, 98. Ramey Junior High in Fayetteville. Yeah, it's been a while. I can't find that dadgum media guide. But so it'd be great to go 9-0, but I like Western Kentucky here. They've got some talent around Bassey, and as far as comparing them to Georgia Tech, it's not going to be the same environment. They don't play in a real big arena. It's 7,000 people in that place. But there's probably going to be a lot of people there. There's a lot of hype and excitement around Western Kentucky basketball. They're 3-0 at home. They're undefeated at home, 6-3 overall. They play in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Capacity of that arena, and it's E.A. Diddle Arena. That is so Kentucky. That is the most Kentucky thing I've ever heard. The capacity is 7,523 people. It's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a coin flip. It's a coin flip. I'm going to try and catch this game. I cannot wait. I think my wife and we've got a busy schedule tomorrow, but I'm going to make time to watch this basketball game. So yeah, I do like Western Kentucky though. Let's see. Razorback Hog says nobody has any news or inside info. Nope, you're right. They don't. I think everybody is. I think 98% of what you read and hear is speculation. I subscribe to VIP HS, and they don't know anything either. Says Razorback Hog. Let's see. Talent-wise, Western Kentucky. shits on Georgia Tech. I think they are as good or better than Georgia Tech as far as talent. Georgia Tech's a middle-of-the-road ACC team. I'm thinking, let's see. I love you, Ty. If I wasn't engaged, you'd be mine. Oh, Josh, that's something. You'd have to fight me for my wife. Okay. Romo gonna coach Cowboys next year, and Jones gonna put great OC and DC around him. Okay, I think Eric Musselman's Diet Pepsi's been drinking. He's been spiking his own stuff. Let's see, Ty, who do you have tonight? Utah having a good year. I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I've been so preoccupied with this coaching search. I don't know. It's a good question. Heard Kiffin to Arkansas being announced at 1:30 Central Time. When? Or is that a joke? Are you being funny? If they make any announcement, I think you'll probably hear it on Sunday. So I want to know what you guys think really quick. Let's. I want to ask a question. Moto says 9-0. Okay, Moto likes Arkansas in that matchup. I want to ask a question. If you think Kiffin is the next head coach, type a 1 in chat. If you don't think he's the next guy, type a 2. 1 for yes on Kiffin. He will not that you want Kiffin or that you don't want. 1 that yes, you believe he will wind up at Arkansas. I want to know. I'm curious. Let me get another sip. For those of you who are a little bit behind, I'm drinking this wonderful black apple spice cider. Brewed right here in Springdale, Arkansas. They're located on Emma. You ought to go check them out. They did not sponsor me at all. I really like their cider, and whatever. I wanted Isaac McBride so bad, but whatever. Yeah, it went cold on his. Like I said, I have not been focused on any of that. Wow. Dr. Pep decided to be the outsider, and he just typed a 3. Okay. 1, 1, 1, 1. That's a lot of 1s. And there's some 2s. Holy cow. Good mix. It's too bad I can't run like a live chat poll. I think Norvell is going to pick up heat again. Somewhere. I don't know about here. That's a lot of 1s and a lot of 2s. Okay. All right, so you're mixed. Not everyone in here firmly believes he's going to wind up at Arkansas. All right. I know for a fact we offered Kiffin the job today, says Travis Green. I hope you're right. I mean, for your sake, if you want him, please, Lord, no Kiffin. Someone donate. I'm poor. Oh, you're such a sweetheart. I'm drinking the sweet Jack Daniels black cider. Ooh, okay. I didn't know they made that. I'm going to check that out. Did you get that cider in a store or straight from the source? So, I got it from Walmart. And I was at Walmart, and I knew they sold these. They sold these there, and you know what? I thought, yeah, why not? I need a good beer. I need a good beer for the weekend or a good beverage. Why not a spiced cider? It's not a beer, I know, but why not a spiced cider? Why not? Dr. Pepper. Oh, okay. Yeah, what about Fuente? How do you pronounce that guy's last name, by the way? Is it Fuente? Fuente. It sounds Spanish. Listen, all the smoke he's not been mentioned that I've seen. I'm not saying it's not possible. I just haven't seen much on him. If anyone thinks it's Houston Nutt, okay. Let's see. If we don't get Norvell, it's Kiffin, 6 years, $36 million. Oh, you are speculating and you know it. Okay. What are we at? Are we at an hour? We're at 48 minutes. Okay, I try to run these right around 50-plus minutes. BOT will screw it up, and we will get a nobody. That is what has been reported, and that's by, I think, even Razorback Nation reported that. Otis Kirk had said the Board of Trustees had been involved. There's some people that do not want Kiffin here for whatever reason. And if you wind up with another mid-major coach, unproven guy, and the fans get all upset and mad, I think there's going to be some heat on the board. I don't know. Ty goes Dr. Pepper. Okay. Hogs by 5 over Western Kentucky. Hog defense will be the difference. Listen, with great defense comes great opportunity. Okay, I think that there is that defense, as well as they play, it seems to not matter how bad they start off shooting from the floor or from three-point range, whatever. It doesn't seem to matter. Their defense keeps them in games, and then when they get these little 8 and 9 point leads, it's hard to get back in it. It's hard to make up the difference. Arkansas, it's like if they get a 20-point lead this year, if their offense kind of comes around a little bit, you feel like, okay, they're not going to lose at any point in this game. If they get like a 15 to 20-point lead in the first half, because their defense is so damn good. It is so good. Kiffin is good. Not sure he's $6 million off the bat good. That's a good point, Kelly. God, I love this stream. Joe, let's see. Joe has to have good shooting night to get the dub. Yeah, someone has to, right? Someone's got to get it going. Let's see. Zach G Music Channel. Ty, late joining. Are you wanting Kiffin to come to Fayetteville or nah? Okay. I'm glad. You're the first person to actually ask me that if I want him here or not. This is the deal for me. Like I've said before, at this point, I would take the corpse of a proven former head coach at Arkansas, and I think they would be better than what we've had. I think anybody is an upgrade, and I mean that. Any of the names that have been mentioned are an upgrade from Chad Morris. I think there's some names out there that could be as good as far as potential or better than Brett Bielema, and I think Kiffin is one of those, potentially. Now, the thing that we're discovering and the thing that we're figuring out, especially in this modern age of college football, especially in the last, well, probably since Arkansas joined the SEC, it takes a certain kind of coach to win here. It's got to be a mix of somewhere in between a Houston Nutt and a Bobby Petrino. Those guys understood it. They got it. They knew how to win here. And I think had Petrino stuck around and not been fired, I think he would have been – I don't know that he could have kept on winning 10, 11 games a year, but I think he would have kept Arkansas definitely competitive in the West. Houston Nutt was pretty competitive in the West. I think it takes a certain kind of coach with the willingness to put in the elbow grease to make it work here. Brett Bielema, we all know, got lazy there towards the end in recruiting. Went down to Texas and told those coaches in Texas that if you don't run with a fullback, we're going to beat your ass or whatever. I don't remember what he said. Something about not using a fullback. Really put his head up his ass on that one. And then Chad Morris was in over his head. So I think Kiffin would be a definite upgrade to Chad, and I think he could be a potential Brett Bielema, that kind of caliber of a winning coach at Arkansas. I'm not saying that he would for sure work here, but I think the potential is here for him to have a certain level of success. Absolutely, but he's got to be willing to put the elbow grease into it, right? His pipeline recruiting, that's something you got to consider. What is his pipeline? Can he recruit Texas? We all know that Arkansas, if you're going to win here, you've got to be able to recruit Texas, especially in East Texas. Can he do that here? I don't know. And if you've got a solid pipeline to South Florida, maybe it doesn't matter. And into Southern California, maybe you could talk people into coming down here and playing. Maybe the USC leftovers or the Florida State, Miami leftovers down in Florida, kind of like what Brett did down there. I mean, he did pull Alex Collins and Denver Kirkland out of the state of Florida. It's going to take some elbow grease. It takes a certain kind of person to win here, and I think if Kiffin's up for it, yeah, I think he could do it here. I really do. We need a hard ass, says Bill. Yeah. Let's see. Someone had asked a really good question in chat. Trying to scroll up. The Ole Miss deep state is getting to Kiffin. Couple of guys that I want, says Celtics for Life. Fickle, Gundy, Norvell, any of those, and I'll get season tickets. Fickle? I don't know about Fickle. I don't know if I can do that. Guys, if we get Kiffin, yeah, let's see. And we still won't go bowl game next year, 4 or 5 wins tops. I don't know about it. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, any coach next year one, that's probably going to be the expectation. 3 to 4 wins next year. That's probably going to be the expectation. And it should be. Chad shouldn't be within 1,000 miles of Arkansas. Yeah. Well, is what it is. Some guys just don't work out here. That's Lane won't get a $36 million deal off the bat. if we get him 4 or 5 wins tops. Okay, so I'm just reading the same thing again. Is that what that is? Jay Massey. I just want Pittman as a head coach, offensive lineman, or AD. I don't care. Bring him back. I don't know. 30 years from now, Chad Moore's era will be a good place to go for trivia questions. Yeah, well, every coach the last since they joined the SEC, every coach has done something embarrassing. Although Chad was the most embarrassing on the field, especially with our out of conference schedule. This is Jay. Gundy ain't leaving Stillwater. No, he's not. He is not leaving Stillwater. It's just not going to happen. I mean, he's a part of that program. Now, supposedly he and his AD have not gotten along, and T. Boone Pickens was kind of the reason why he stuck around. At least that's what we've read. I don't know how much truth there is to that. I don't see him leaving Oklahoma State unless it's a big, big job, right? Like Notre Dame or, I don't know, one of these big SEC schools like Florida or Auburn, someone like that. We will get a bowl game if 2 things happen. One, the defense finally steps up, and we get a quarterback. If these happen, we're going Bowling Celtics, though. Yeah, but I think you could say that every year, though. And it's going to take – look, year one, I don't think you make a bowl game. Obviously, I've got a lot of work to do in the offseason. After they make the hire, then I'm going to – obviously, we'll start breaking down recruiting and really getting into what's going on at Arkansas. It's far more complicated than that, though. It's not just about showing up on defense. You got to have talent. And that is something they are lacking, especially at linebacker outside of Bumper Pool. It's funny, no open spot is looking for Chad Moore's head coaching job. Well, that's typically the case, though, when you get fired. I mean, that's going to happen. Let's see. Chad is going to help coach Chad is going to help coach quarterback and wide receiver. All right. Matthew Hill, go listen to Mike Irwin on Pictorial Network. Well, it's Nation, I think is what you meant. He says Lane's dad still communicates with friends in Arkansas and said Kiffin is coming. Hunter Yurchek gave Kiffin a big budget to get a top-notch staff, and that is the other big piece of this that we haven't touched on. Can Ole Miss do that? I don't know. Maybe someone can help me out here, but if you could pay him the money, but can you pay him the money and let him build a staff? That's the question. And I think at Arkansas, they're going to do that. I think Hunter's going to be competitive there. Look at the basketball staff. Chris Crutchfield, Corey Williams, and Clay Moser. That's a pretty damn good staff. And I think they're pretty competitively paid when you look at the field in the SEC. KJ will be a beast under Kiffin and Kendall. Mike Lane, what's up, Mike? Let's see. That's like saying we're going to a bowl game once we learn to play football. Yeah. It's a little bit more complicated than just showing up. Like they need talent on both sides of the ball. You've got to completely rework that line of scrimmage. They're going to have some young talent on the defense. That's what they have to look forward to. I'm really surprised no one's asked about that. Like, what do they have to look forward to year one? What are the pros and the cons next year, assuming you don't have anybody transfer out? That's the question. And then what kind of recruiting class can they put together? There's so many. I'm excited for the post-hire part of the job that I do. I mean, I don't get paid, but you know what I mean. That's the most exciting part of all this. Like once they get him here and then they start lining up their staff and then they start targeting people and sending out offers, I cannot wait to do that kind of coverage. I'm really curious. That's the most exciting part of all this. Recruiting is fantastic. I love keeping up with it. Even when Arkansas doesn't recruit that well, it's still fun to kind of, put some of these kids under the microscope, see their pros and cons, see, what they can contribute to Arkansas year one, year two. And that's the most exciting part of all of this. And for me, I know you guys just want to coach, get them in here and start winning games, but I look for all the little things, the good and the bad. And I am a Razorback fan, make no mistake about it, but I am I'm honest about it. I'm blunt. I'm very on. I'm what's the word I'm looking for? I'm getting tired. I'm very blunt. And I don't really hold back. I don't keep a bias. I think the only bias that creeps up from time to time is when you talk about like I don't know, when you hear people say that Arkansas is a mistake in the SEC. Like, that's something I'm like, oh, hold on now. Let me just pull up my big boy pants here. Stuff like maybe I'm a little biased in that department, but when it comes to everything else, I take those goggles off, and it's all about let's get down to the facts, okay? I'd show head coaching candidates video of Treylon Burks and say 2 years from now you will be sitting next to him at a national award events. Maybe. I mean, look though, I'm sure Ole Miss has a guy. I'm sure Ole Miss has some young players that they could do the same. But, I mean, yeah, Burks is special. But bottom line, Ty, who would be your choice for head coach? Asked Tim. Oh, yeah, Dalton Hyatt transferred. He did. Dalton Hyatt, how about that? Quarterback turned wide receiver transferred. Here's my shocked face. My guy would have been, I mean, I've said this before. If you put the morality stuff to the side, I hate to say that, Urban Meyer would be my guy, because it feels like everywhere that guy has gone, he has turned everybody around and made them relevant. Obviously, what he did at Florida and Ohio State, yeah, okay, that's expected, but you look at some of his other jobs and things that he's done, it's hard not to look at Urban Meyer and go, oh my God, what could he do at Arkansas? But it's never going to happen. I know that. But that would be my guy. Notice that rumors have stopped and no more plane travels. That's because Kiffin is a lock, says Mr. Bloodline. Yeah. So again, I think we're going to find out Sunday. You said blunt. That's the third weed reference tonight. It is, isn't it? You caught me. It's this one beer that I've had, or one alcoholic beverage. I keep calling it a beer. It's this one alcoholic beverage I've had tonight. Urban Meyer is everyone's guy in all. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the most obvious out there, and he would be my number one guy if it was a realistic option, hands down, absolutely. He's super high level. Well, yeah, yes, I agree. I've been recruiting transfers on Twitter. Oh, don't do that. We need Jason Brown. I'm not gonna lie. I'm waiting for that parody account to pop up on Twitter. Jason Brown, head coach of the Razorbacks. Born and raised in Louisiana and could easily jump ship. Will always be a hog. Well, then it shouldn't be so easy then, right? How about a realistic guy? Who's your guy out of the names? Oh, okay, John. There you go. Another good question. I like these questions. These just get to it, Ty. Who's the realistic option out there that you like? I don't know. I guess it depends on what you consider to be realistic, though, right? Because we don't really even know. We have no idea how available anyone is. If let's say let's just throw Leach back in there, Kiffin. Someone mentioned Blake Anderson. Definitely wouldn't add him on that list. I'm trying to you've got Virginia Tech guy's last name who I can never pronounce correctly. Fuente, whatever. I hate to say it, but I think it probably. I don't want to say it would be for sure Kiffin, but like I said, of the names that are out there, of the realistic options, I feel like he would be a Brett Bielema, maybe higher ceiling than Brett Bielema, kind of higher. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that he would work out. God, that's a. It'd have to be him. Either him or I don't like Fickle. I've heard people mention Fickle a lot. I'm just not there with Fickle. Norvell, I guess Norvell would be my number one guy of the names that are out there, but I don't think that he's a realistic option because I think he's Florida State bound. That's a tough one because you have to consider like who's been in the news, who's been rumored, who do you really think you could get. You've got to really, and I'm not like Drinkwitz. No, I don't want Drinkwitz. No, absolutely not. That's a tough one. Of the names that are out there, it'd have to be between Norvell and Kiffin. It really would. Deion Sanders, prime time. That's right. With Darren McFadden as running back coach. And you know what though? That's all fun and games, but there's been a realistic push for DMAC to come and coach running backs at Arkansas. Guys, just because you're a great player doesn't mean you'd be a great coach. Not that I wouldn't enjoy enjoy him being back on with the Razorbacks. That'd be great. Let's see. Eric Musselman's Diet Pepsi says, can we get a quarterback coach that can get KJ to make the throws in the pocket and under pressure? Ty, I need your opinion on this. He's very raw in the passing game. If you saw, I was saying that before you hit the field. I said he needed a lot of work with his passing game. Footwork, technique, he needs a lot of work. He's very raw in that area. He's a true RPO guy, and Kiffin definitely dabbles in the RPO. I think you get Kiffin behind KJ. Who knows what could happen there? That'd be special. But he's got a lot of work to do. But he's a true RPO kind of quarterback. Fickle is too fickle. Bryan Harsin is a way. Yeah, Bryan Harsin. That was the other guy. I was sitting here thinking, who's the other guy? Bryan Harsin. Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Hold on. Hold the phone. I think he'd be my number one. I think Harsin would be my guy. Yeah, absolutely. I want to pull up all of his numbers here. I should have done that, but I was so short on time. Let me pull up his numbers here really quick. By the way, I had someone on my last video. We're going to cut it here in just a second. I had someone on my last live stream tell me that I need to Google more stuff. They said, Ty, please, I love your show, but please Google information. It's right there, and it's so simple. And it turns out I did actually Google whatever it was I was talking about. I wanted to pull up his info really fast here. Where's he at? Boise State, that is just a program. It just doesn't seem to matter who coaches them. They are, well, pull it up here, damn it. Boise State. Okay. This year, Boise State went 11-1. They're top 20. I'll get it here in just a second. Yeah, they're in the Mountain West. Where? Well, I can't find the information that I wanted. I wanted to look up their, good Lord. Yeah, Boise State, though, everything they do with the coach, they're a lot like Wisconsin. My God. Here we go. I guess that guy was right to bitch and moan. Bryan Harsin. Here we go. Yeah, Bryan Harsin. 60. This is what I was looking for. His record, 63-16. He makes I didn't know Boise State could afford to pay a guy this. They pay him $4.35 million. That was the other thing. He actually played at Boise State. He was quarterback. He was at Arkansas State. We remember that. He's a tight end, offensive coordinator off and on throughout Boise State. And then he was the co-offensive coordinator for Texas from 2011 to 2012. Yeah, his overall coaching record is 70-21. He's 3-1 in bowl games. Since being at Boise State, listen to this. He might even be my absolute favorite pick, really, even over Lane. Arkansas State 2013, he goes 7-5. I remember when he jumped ship because Arkansas State fans were really sad. They were sad. Oh, we had to change our mascot, and he left in a year. Arkansas State. Boise State 2014, year one. He goes 7-1 in conference, 12-2. Year two in 2015, 9-4. 10-3, 11-3, 10-3, 11-1. This guy just wins. And, I don't remember Boise State's situation when he walked in over there. They'd been good. Peterson set those guys up. But he just continues to win. The only thing that turned me off about him to begin with is zero Power 5 experience. That is something that kind of, So I would like Harsin. Now, don't ask me to get into his offensive stats just yet. Maybe on Monday. Well, no, we'll have our coach by Monday. So, but yeah, if they make their announcement, it happens to be him, we can go over more of his numbers. But he's impressive. Kiffin would probably be in my top three of those names mentioned. I think Kiffin could do some damage when he's since he's been at FAU every year. He's had top three offense in that conference. Year one, I think they were number one. Year two, he was number two in offense. And I think this year they're number two, or maybe it was number one total offense in conference play his first 2 years, and then they were second this year. Regardless, he's had some really good offenses. It's been weird because KJ can run but can't throw. Criswell can throw, especially in heated pocket, but risk re-injuring his leg with every run. Yeah, I would love to see someone come in here and flip him. I would, but it's going to be tough. KJ was overhyped by Chad Morris, the used car salesman. I think he's better than you realize, but the problem is now he's going through a coaching change, and it's going to take someone special, I think, to work on his arm mechanics. I think he's a special guy in the RPO. I think he could develop into something special, but that's it's gonna take a little bit of work. So you guys keep throwing names. Kyle Whittingham. I haven't even done the research on all these guys. Let's see. Georgia beats LSU tomorrow. We'll see. They got a good defense. I'd be okay with Harsin. Harsin is, I don't know, man. Like I've said, I don't want anyone else who hasn't coached Power 5. But that kind of record anywhere. I mean, we're not talking 3, 5, and 7. Like what did he do? Or was it 2, 3, 7 at SMU for Chad? We're talking about 10, 11 games a year. Top ranked year after year at Boise State. Boise State, they're a Power 5 caliber team that doesn't play in a Power 5 conference, but they just seem to get it done no matter who the coach is. His throwing ability is kind of limited, though, but I like KJ. Well, it's limited because he's got to be molded. He's got arm strength, and he has the ability to rip it. It's decision-making, and it's just delivering a more accurate ball. And that stuff that can be taught. We got to remember, he was a freshman. He was 18 years old, asked to come in to do something with a broken offense. It's really hard to look good when everything around you is crap, okay, or young. Crap and young. It's hard to make anything work, and it's hard to look good. It's hard to stand out. Rakeem Boyd, that's why he's a special player, and I don't think he's coming back. 1,000 yards in that offense. Bryan Allen is the GOAT. Hey, his last year, he was incredible at Arkansas. One of the best years ever for quarterback. Harsin is the exception to the Power 5 rule. I couldn't agree more. Okay. All right. So this will be the last show until when they make a hire on Sunday. I think it's going to be Sunday. If it's Saturday, whenever they do, I will go live. We will be here for the reaction to the coaching hire. And I thought about doing a post-game reaction for the basketball game. We'll see. We'll play that one by ear. That's a big one. I can't tell you guys how big this game is. I think this is their biggest test of the year, behind the Georgia Tech or just ahead of the Georgia Tech ball game. This is it. Even if this were at home, neutral site, this is, I think, the biggest test they've had. I'm thinking about going live tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. I want to, because I know, too, the coaching stuff is going to be on fire at that point after the game. We might just do that. We might have to anyways, because they might make an announcement tomorrow and then officially make the, talk to the media the following day. But we will go. I'm thinking we're probably going to go live after that game tomorrow night. So stay tuned for that. Yes, do a post? Oh, I see what you're saying. Post game. Sorry. My bad. Let's get another swig of this black apple spice cider. Really is good. Again, they did not sponsor this at all. I just want to throw them a bone because I want to support local businesses. It'd be cool if they were sponsoring the show. Maybe we could talk that out. I don't know, but they make a damn good beverage here. So I highly recommend if you like these kind of beverages, get yourself some. They're on Emma. They're in Springdale. They make it in Springdale, 321 East Emma Avenue, Springdale, Arkansas 72764. Really good. I'm a fan. But yeah, I want to support local business, and I've thought about doing another beverage maybe from another local brewery. And maybe we'll do a special beer every other video or something. I don't know. Kiffin is a changed man, allegedly. I love it. No on Sumlin. Just rest with the Sumlin stuff. There is no way in hell Arkansas is bringing Sumlin here. Glad to finally see another live stream live. Thanks for the hard work, Ty. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Okay. Remember, guys, to like, share the content. Please check out the links down below. We've got the Hog Talk podcast and the pig trail. Another thing, too, I forgot to tell you guys. I'm not going to put any more videos on good God. I'm going to think of it in a second. Podcast. We're not going to do those anymore. The podcast is still going to be there, but I'm not. YouTube takes too long for me to download these episodes and put them up. And then even when I do, sometimes they don't come out right. I'm just going to do Thirsty Thursdays only. So there's only going to be Thirsty Thursdays on the Pig Trail podcast. Makes it a lot easier because I can't sit around and wait hours till I can actually download the episode from YouTube and put it up on the podcast. I'm not doing that. I'm tired of dealing with it. So Thirsty Thursdays will be available on the Pig Trail podcast. Maybe I'll do some more stuff there. I don't know. I've thought about doing 2 shows a week there. But yeah, if you haven't already, feel free to check that out. And also, thank you to the Patreon supporters and those of you who have donated. Again, those links are provided for you down below. Down below in the description box, directly below the screen here. Okay, that's it. Till probably tomorrow or Sunday. You guys be good. Woo pig, and we'll see you next time. Go Hogs.